Achievement unlocked. 2 players and a podcast now loading.
Welcome back, Dreamers and Flam family. This is Two Peas and a Pod, brought to you by GeneralAndrews and
Flibbityflam.
And we are sponsored by the 8-Bit Dojo and ESN, where we aim to be selfless, not selfish. This is episode 13 of season 2, Fear and How It Affects Our Content, and why be a content creator. All right, Flibbityflam, so, I mean, why are you a content creator, and why the heck are you so fearful of everything right now?
I'm just a scared little boy in a big content-filled world, really.
Man, I'm glad you can swim, because I can't swim.
Barely. I float mostly.
Okay. Hey, that's a skill set, baby.
It is.
I try to float.
You can't float. You've got too much muscle. I know that works. I used to sink, but now I've flown. So that's how.
Gosh, ain't that a harsh reality? One of the things I'm worse at, I made it harder on myself. Gosh. So why, as a content creator, why do we make things harder on ourselves? Right? Why do we allow fear to dictate what we create? Why do we allow it to dictate how we feel?
Man, it's the reason I wanted to bring it up, because it's that whole thing about if I stop playing this one game that does me so well, I'm gonna lose all my viewers.
Stop hurting me in my heart. Keep going.
Yes, right? Because everybody has that fear as a content creator, and I've seen it happen a lot. And like, people just don't want to take a risk, but you can do it if you do it in the right ways.
I like what you're saying. So you're telling me we should take risks, but we're not going ham. We're being calculated?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Like, a big thing, like, because I'm a speedrunner. I've always been a speedrunner. I knew that was going to work at first, because I took a lot of risks, at least content-wise, when I first started. But fair. I knew speedrunning worked. And what I've seen, and what a lot of other speedrunners have picked up, is that if you want to take risks on your games, do speedrunning for half your stream, and then switch to a game you want to play for the other half.
Okay. A little bit of dangle and a little bit of bangle. Okay, I like this thing. Okay, all right. So now, have you found success with this?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you get people in the door with your speedrun, or whatever your main piece of content is.
That's fair, yeah, because it doesn't have to be speedrunning to be successful.
Exactly. It could be whatever main game you do, like DBD or League or challenge runs or something along those lines.
Okay, yeah, right. Those are fun.
And then you can be like, once you're like wrapping up or you're on your last run, and be like, all right, guys, after this run, we're going to play this game. And you can get them. Sure, you're going to get some people to leave. That's always going to happen. But sometimes those people who are there for your run are going to be like, holy crap, I want to see that game. It's like, I love that game.
Got it. I like it. Okay, so now what do individuals do that they don't even know how to transition from one game to the next? Right? So now maybe day to day they do, but let's say, they are playing DBD and then they switch to another game that is more like SpongeBob and what is that, the Race for Bikini Bottom?
Battle for Bikini Bottom.
For Bikini. Thank you. It shows you I've not played it.
Yeah.
Right? Thus, I don't know if I should put that as my content.
Yeah, you were close enough.
Okay, thank you. I got fearful there for a second, folks. See, look what happened. And so is that, would that be a consideration for them to switch to? I mean, obviously it's up to them to understand their audience in that manner, their community in that way. But I'm assuming when you do these switches that you already considered where your niche is or your overall genre, or does that not affect your choices?
I mean, it could affect your choices. That's true. Okay. I didn't even really think about that. Trying to pick games that are still in your theme and are still in your wheelhouse for your particular content.
And then it's still, let's say you go from speed into a casual playthrough, but it's still of, let's say you're playing Mega Man X2, right? And then let's say Mega Man 12 comes out, and so you want to play Mega Man 12, but you don't really know when you'd be able to play it, and you're kind of done with your X2 runs for the day. Do you think that would be a good way from there to then rotate into like a couple hours of casual play of Mega Man X12?
It's a good smooth transition, because usually people who love Mega Man will just watch any Mega Man.
Okay, cool.
At
So now
least
what
in
have
my
you done
experience.
currently that you feel like you still have seen success, even though it hasn't necessarily been in that approach?
I don't ever, for me in
Mhm.
particularly,
Yeah,
it's just that I don't usually do casual anything. I don't know how to casual anymore.
that's
And
true. I think that's why I like you.
yes, it's been very hard. So when I do switch into casual mode and do play a casual game, I think people like it a lot more because it's a side they don't see. So
Okay,
it doesn't really matter what game I'm playing. They're there for me, and that has been super nice to have.
So
Instead,
now, why are you ever afraid if you know they're there for you? I mean, that's pretty cool. You show up and they want to see you. Why would anyone, not just you, right? Why would anyone be fearful of that? Why is that coming into play? Ooh, there we go. You hit me hard earlier.
I
I
know.
I
Now
had to
you
bring
gotta
back a
hit me.
counterpunch. Yeah, I had to.
Oh.
That's how we get better.
It is. It is how we get better. Man, the biggest it's so hard when you've found your niche to go out of that niche. Even if you do have a strong community around you and everything like that, because you're going to lose a lot of the quote unquote the hollow numbers. The people who are just there to watch the game. They never interact with chat or anything like that. They're just there to watch you play the game because they like you watching. They like to watch you play that game.
And they like you watching them too, obviously. I mean,
Yes.
that's why they're there behind their screen hiding, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're saying because it feels like you found something. I
Yeah.
mean, let's say you had the treasure map, okay?
Yes.
You followed it. It says X marks the spot. You got to X. You started digging. Okay, well, it wasn't there. It was a lie. But you decided, you know what, though? I bet it is still nearby. People just leave without even thinking about it. So you go off to the side here and start thinking a little smaller, one just to test it because you've been working hard already, right?
Yeah.
Guess what, though? You didn't find like the most biggest treasure, but you found something kind of nice. It's like a little gold chalice over here. I think I'm going to stay here and see if I can find a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not the main treasure that is on the map that was dedicated here because people have been talking about it for years and years. So do you go and look for more of that treasure, or do you stay with the niche that hey, I feel rewarded for the amount of time I spent coming here and getting this now?
I'm going around and I'm digging up that entire island.
Now, okay, so now you are going to go ahead and start digging some more. Now, with myself, it's the same idea, right? Is that I know certain niches that I have put myself into that they are, let's call them successful. That feels good to say.
Yeah.
Let's say the word successful. All of you out there, think of something good that you've done and actually say that you are being successful.
That's a big thing.
And so when we're thinking about these successful moments, no matter how small or, compared to other people, it's not good enough. I mean, I don't know how many times that, I've done that to myself, even where I'm thinking, oh, man, if only it was this, or if only, why are we doing this?
If only
right?
I'd picked the right game or done the right
Oh
run or hadn't a lost that 30 seconds before or actually PB. Oh, it just goes on.
It goes on. It goes on because, of course, you can be better.
Yeah.
Thing is are you actually articulating what is good and what isn't good about each piece of content you make? Even if it's not a streaming broadcast, maybe you kill on streaming, but you suck on everything else, or at least that's what you think, right? Because your success level on it is so much smaller compared to the success you expect because you've done it streaming and you're like, wow, I'm really good at this, but I have not figured it out on anything else.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's going to take that time and dedication. And how do you, again, find your niche? See, a lot of people start chasing after some of the individuals who do very specific things, and they can't create that kind of content, at least not consistent. And so all these people have made content that they have, eventually been successful at. They've had content that they weren't successful at too.
Yeah.
But they put it out there. They took the risk. They got just enough feedback to give them kind of a wild hair to kind of push through, Even though really you look at the numbers, say, damn, I might have just given up after that. But they didn't. Why?
Didn't let their fear rule them. They just found a piece of content that wasn't their thing. But you know what? They probably got like at least one or two people.
And I'm feeling though also that goes in line. Their fear was pushed aside by their passion.
Yeah.
Right? If you're really passionate about what you want, how many times have you thought to yourself, if you're not going to ever kill anybody, right? Now, folks, let's put a disclaimer out there for all you who are going to try to exacerbate this to the next level. Do not kill anybody.
Don't do it.
There's an extreme that I'm trying to create here with this analogy so you can follow along. Okay, so going and killing someone's a very extremism way to go with something. But why would you choose not to do that? Because you're following the rules, because you're being a good person. No, you're choosing these things because you wouldn't want to do that. And when you're passionate about something, you're going to make sure to maintain that passion, because that's what brings you happiness. Probably that's what brings you fulfillment. So let's say one of your relatives was in a situation where they're getting beat down upon, and you would never want to ever murder anyone before. But now your passion, your happiness is now being taken from you. You might get in one of those minds like, man, if that happened, that's the only time I'd ever kill anybody. You know, like if they start, beating down on my friend Flibbityflam, like I'm going to take, a hammer to them. Like I just have to protect them, hammer bros for life. Right.
Exactly.
And so, and that's why I bring up that analogy, is that your passion can therefore supersede things if it's really your passion that's driving you to do any of this content creation, or are you really just after the money and the comfortability, what seems like chilling? Because none of this is chilling. Like right now, thankfully, this piece of work is 90% chill and 10% work for me. I don't know how you feel about how it breaks down for you.
That's about the breakdown I'd have with this as well. This is extra stuff for everybody at home. And they have,
and that's why I don't mind breaking the fourth wall and telling them how much we love them. Is that like that the 10% though is what is that wrapped up into? That'd be like showing up on time, making sure that we're gonna go for this, we're gonna stick to this for a little bit in time. Okay, cool. And when I'm also, the other 10% is like, okay, I got to make sure that the computer is on, the microphone's working, I'm sitting upright, I'm not buck naked, and stuff like that. Even though in theory, I guess I could be. I'll let you all think about that for a second.
Yeah, just a moment.
Yeah, just one moment. Move on past it. Come on, weirdos. And so when it comes to this whole fear thing that you've brought up, which is such a good point. I mean, how many individuals have we worked with, we've got to work with, maybe because of our own fear, that fear has really been in the way of so many possible things that could happen.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Good or bad. Yeah. Because there's good fear about there. Like, it's a natural response. It keeps you alive. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like you can have fear of having like a new deal with somebody, or like signing a new contract with a company, or getting a sponsorship. Like that's good fear too.
Commitment. Who here, no matter how nice it's been, has been afraid of a commitment at some point in time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's committing to to going first for a speech in class.
Oh man!
You want to get it done. You want to get it done. You and you're like, I gotta be one of the first 3 people. I have to be. I'm just gonna go crazy. Okay, but now guess what? Well, if you're one of the first people, that means you're gonna be one of the first people of those due dates for that, which means you better be ready to go.
Yeah.
Now fear's kicking back in. Like, oh god. Oh, what was I? I guess boisterous over here. Oh boy, yeah. Rain check.
You said Monday.
When you said Monday, I thought you meant the other Monday.
The other Monday.
The one next month at the end.
Perfect.
Thank you. We can book that. All right, thanks. And so, like that fear constantly gets in the way of overall content creation. So then now let's take fear and scare everybody who was considering content creation into a corner here. That's right. I see you quit.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But why be a content creator then? If there's all these fearful things that we're dealing with, people can't understand if they are passionate or not passionate. Why even be a content creator? Lynn?
Man, why even be a content creator?
No, why? Seriously, like, why? I mean, like, if it's just your opinion, I don't care. I want to hear it. You know what I mean? That's why I like talking on these things with you. It's like, why be a content? Like, you and I would have this conversation. I might be a little more quiet. I might be so loud, but I like being loud. It's kind of fun. That now you're like, no, dude, you'd be just as loud. Don't you fool anybody. And where it's just like, why be a content creator?
To be a content creator, you really have to just have the passion for it, to want it. You have to put the fiscal gains, the money aside. Like if you want to be a successful content creator.
Oh, so you're saying like just have fun?
Just have fun. Yes.
That's it. Ever. Right?
Yep.
All right. So you're going to play COD in Halo, right? Because you're just going to have fun playing.
If you're just going to have fun, doom.
Right?
Done.
Okay. Like, are you just going to create friends on the platform? That's it. Okay. Just creating friends. And now, though, your bills are coming in and you don't really have the funds to kind of sort of cover that consistently. So now are you having fun or not?
Well, you said why be a content creator, not why be a full-time content creator.
Oh, you're telling me. Hold on, you're telling me you have a choice.
Yes.
You could be a part-time content creator while working either a part-time job, full-time job.
Yep.
Or you could be a full-time content creator, and you probably should have had a game plan if you decide to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. That makes much more sense.
No,
Thank
if you start streaming and you get $100 donation, please do not go out and quit your nice cushy job that you have right now.
But dude, you understand? I got that $100.
I got $100.
$100 a second's a lot of money.
If I extrapolate from this,
I ran the numbers. I'm a businessman. I got a B+ in statistics. Come on. I'm really good at this. My father was once in the stock market.
He was once in the stock market. Fired because he made some bad investments, but that's not the point. He was there.
He was there. It wasn't his money that he lost, no matter how many millions it was. So it's cool, right? I learned from his mistakes. It was great. Okay, so being a content creator, to me, why be a content creator? Why?
Yeah, why for you?
For me, it's much more utopian of a mental process. Okay, I'm 35 years old, and some of you didn't know that. I appreciate the kind words and the generous thoughts of my youthfulness spouting through me. And I know some of you are like, well, I actually thought you were 40. Yeah, nice try. I don't fucking believe you. That, is, for me, it is a liberation.
Yes.
Overall, a liberation. You'd be like, you're 35. What do you know, bro? You understand, like, no matter whatever age I am, no matter how old I get, you understand. You're only this age. Like, shut up. Who are you? Who are you? Why do you keep saying that to me?
Who
are you? Why do you keep on
sidebar? Because I hate that. I hated it so much, and I hated it so much because, like, especially when I was like 18, 19, 20, stuff like that. And like, I was a lot smarter than most of the adults I knew, but I'm automatically shunned because you're just a fucking kid.
You're a kid.
Like,
you're too optimistic. You don't get it.
You don't get it. I've never lost that youthful optimism, people. I never fucking will.
Because that's who you are.
Yeah.
Right? And so when we get back to this, whole YBA content, what liberation on my feelings of it, obviously, which created the sidebar of us getting shit on for no matter what age we are and talking about us knowing things. Surprise, surprise. Folks, it's going to happen no matter what you do or what you say. Right now, some of you are shitting on me because I keep on interrupting our flow here, but I like doing that. It feels good. It's powerful. It's liberating. What?
Liberating. Full circle.
So many circles.
So many circles.
Dude, there's so many circles. We are definitely not the Illuminati.
No, definitely not. No, those are triangles, from my understanding.
Get geometry the fuck out of here. And so the liberation comes from the fact that if you understand overall consumerism / capitalism / this, that, and then somehow the world, quote unquote, works for the most part. Obviously, it's a little different where if you live somewhere else, you have to have money just to, provide for yourself the things that you need to provide for yourself. That's shelter, food,
places,
things of that nature, right? Let alone anything else, right? And there's all those other things because we have to work so hard to get our money that we need probably some other things to balance out the idea of working so hard. So it's like, okay, all right, these luxuries, whatever they are, feel worth it. That's reading a book on the beach, cool, lounge around by the pool, I don't know why everything's out in the sun right now. We're just baking our skin. I don't know what I'm thinking. But point being is that to have those types of things going on, you're going to need money. Okay, so why not work for your typical 9 to 5? Right? General, come on. You've got a degree. You earned it. You know what I mean? And then you even decide to, go and get some certifications to up your personal training. And so you have all these options to work in a normal industry.
Yeah.
And
normal
it's like,
job.
You understand you're working for someone that doesn't even know that you're even existing. And if they do, they probably didn't treat you that well. Now, if they did, that's pretty cool. And you hold on to that route that you're going. But a lot of us know that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Right. And so why content creation? that freedom and liberty to actually do what I want. Oh, and it's
Man.
successful. Oh, and someone else doesn't get to take credit for it. And if they do, I'm going to sue them. I mean, right? The idea behind it is you have control again. And that feels good no matter how limited in scope.
God, that feels so good. It really does.
And I'm not saying that you are taking control and you are taking people's money. No. This is just of your overall investment of time. That's one thing you cannot get back after it's gone.
Yeah.
Your time is gone as soon as it's been spent, right? So hopefully you feel somewhat fulfilled for the time that you utilized. Twitch, every time we've gone to TwitchCon, obviously the first one was one thing because we got to meet each other and that was really cool. But then everyone after that, Jen, I'm not going. I'm like, you're going, okay?
Yeah, you're going.
I know I'm not even anywhere near you, but we're going to make you go, okay? And you've gone and we've had a great time and that's been awesome, right? But why the liberating feeling of being able to do those things and to feel rewarded for what you've done for it. You made that decision at the end of the day. Did you go or did you not go, right? Yeah. You made these decisions that also have benefited your ability to think more openly on your stuff instead of fearful that you're going to lose your job over a wrong decision. Now, can you lose your job in content creation over a wrong decision? Only in the sense that obviously you took a very bad take and you decided not to be accountable. You decided to run rampant with it because you wanted to work with the negativity. Bad press is good press. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? And so
yeah, but sometimes you just can't recover from that.
You make it to where people don't want to watch you or be around you or whatever it may be in regards to the content creation because you became so much of a negative stigma,
Yeah.
And so, yes, you could fire yourself in that manner. But again, you could still keep on creating.
Yeah.
You can still keep on putting it.
Find
and then
another
eventually
avenue.
Platform comes out, you decide to take a risk on it because you're not having success anywhere else because you fired yourself on everything else. But guess what? You still got to go back and create more content. You've been working on it for years. You're still there. You still exist. You are still valid, right? No matter about the bad people in this world, as a human being, you are still valid.
Yes.
Hopefully other human beings are not invalidating others, right? That's our hope. And anyone that I interact with, that you interact with, we're hoping the same idea, that we are around similar like folk that bring us into a state of feeling good and not fearful about any decision that we make going forward.
Exactly. Like that's what I was gonna say too, is that
good, yeah.
This is probably like, and I've talked about it several times before on stream whenever I talk about because people ask me like, why did you want to be a streamer? And I'll be like,
good question.
Because I've always been like really good at customer service and stuff like that. That's what I did before all this. So it really kind of went well. Like that's why I deal with people who come into my chat very well.
Correct.
And the thing is, I feel like I have way more of a positive effect on people now. And that it's very rewarding work at the end of the day.
That's good. I do agree with that. Okay.
Like I feel like I can make a difference a lot more.
Okay, so now let's play with that there, because I do agree with that as well. So I'll use a little caveat for myself as being a personal trainer. And I worked hard, I would say, but I also tried to work smart when I was, making my schedule and understanding how many clients per this, for that, to know how much money am I making, all these other factors that come into play. Because when you're a trainer, in most gyms, not all gyms, but most gyms, you create your clientele base, and that's the only way you're going to make money. If you don't have clients, you don't really make money. And so you make your schedule, right? So this is like that in between, working for somebody, but with the mindset of starting to become more entrepreneurial in how you manage things, right?
Yes.
And so jumping with that and understanding these little caveats of how do we apply ourselves in these situations, I realized that even if I work myself to the bone per week, I can only affect about 40 people.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can't have your schedule perfect 40 hours in training. If you have 40 hours, it's because you are willing to take some broken up bits and pieces, and your quality of life eventually starts to diminish.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
So hopefully you're making the money to offset the feeling of diminishment because you don't really have as much time available to you because you're like, well, I only have an hour in between here, so I guess I'll read during this time or something. I'll get on the social media. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I'll text my friend. I'll see what they're up to. Oh, they're busy. Okay. So realizing that I couldn't affect as many people as I would like to affect, and the money wasn't enough. I was making good money.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough. Especially for how much I had to charge other people, because you're making a percentage, right? In that type of industry, you make a percentage.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that. But yeah.
So I had to charge more to make a livable wage. I could charge them less, but then I'm making peanuts. I worked hard to do that. I understand things and it can make people have results, right? And have an impact on their lives. You got to at least make livable amount of money off of that.
Yeah,
right? Because that is your service that you've offered that they could learn to, but they don't want to. They want to pay you to take them through it. Okay, so you said to affect more people. Guess what? I found that to be quite the effect of being able to affect more people through all this content creation, and in that manner. So I totally agree that you're able to affect more people. Now, why else though? Right? Because to me, there's more to you than being a nice guy, customer service oriented individual. Okay. As much as that's a great answer, there's more to you. You are so much. There's so many more layers of awesome flibbity-flamness. Fabulous. That's why I should have said fabulous.
Fabulous.
The other thing. Go back and edit that out. Yeah. Fabulous flibbity-flamness. So, but what else? What else does your ability to be a content creator, that liberating feeling, that also teeter-totter sometimes on fearful?
Yeah.
Why? What is important about that? Because there's people out there right now who do not know that they want to be a streamer.
Yeah.
Right? They want to be a streamer. Okay, good. I hope so. Good. That means it's a well-wanted position.
It is.
But why? Why? We're humans. We do things for the why. And when someone doesn't do it for the why, they're an enigma.
They do it just because. I was like, what?
Why do you think I'm so entertained by, like we talked about before, Kefka, the Joker from Batman, Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, because they're enigmas.
They're enigmas.
Wow, that's not what someone's supposed to do. That's not what someone's supposed to do. This is kind of interesting. But I'm sorry, your livelihood cannot be on that path of enigma, especially if you have a family. If you have a family, you definitely can't be risking that. You know what I mean? Enigmas don't have families.
Yes.
Okay,
it's true.
So why be a content creator more than your customer service and being able to talk to people? That's 100% so correct, but that's not 100% of what fills up your bucket. What else? What else does it allow you? I know I talked about the freedom to be able to,
Man, the freedom is a big. Like I was just nodding my head too. I wasn't even like I'm not even gonna say for all this because I'm just like because another little bit about my background is that most of my family and extended family are small business owners.
And okay, this is cool.
And like my mom has a small business, my uncle has a small business, and my other uncle has a small business, and like it's the freedom to be able to do what you want to do and plan for what you want to plan and make money in the way that you want to make money.
Very good point.
Is huge. Like
it's so huge. So huge.
Like not like just thinking about working in customer service and stuff like that. It's like work myself to the freaking bone. And like
thank you.
I wouldn't get no credit whatsoever for any of it. But now when I work myself to the bone and something goes super well, I get all the fucking credit.
Exactly. And the best part is sometimes you don't even need to get the credit because there's nothing else that goes along with because you already know.
Yeah.
You're the one who created the content. And so just, people like and are saying, oh, that was funny. Or, what I could picture, for example, is your Flibbityflam,
the French
it was so silly or whatever, but it was fun. It was funny. It was an entertaining thing. Right. And you already felt good about it anyways. But then guess what? It also had a good response and that just added to it.
Yes.
It didn't make it honestly. Like, if your worth as a content creator, obviously we know the money is where all the engagement's at. Duh. First off, duh.
Yeah.
But if you cannot have worth in what you do without pay,
Yeah.
pay is not going to actually make you happy. That just is a band-aid.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Very well said. Yeah.
The money is nice. We know that. That's why we're pushing to allow ourselves even more freedoms and more liberties, right? Why do I want more money through my stream? So I can actually create more time for myself. I work pretty much 23/7, 20, whatever amount of hours I sleep minus that, right? Like I pretty much work every day. And then once in a while, I'll take a day to myself. I'll zone out. It'll be great. I love it. And I choose to do this, right? This is cool. But we also know, and me as a fitness nut, know I need more balance. I really do. Because guess what? I'm going to get better at what I do give. Exactly. And that's what I miss, is that sometimes I feel I'm not my very, very best. And I know why. But you can't stop. Who's going to do the work for me?
Yeah.
I'm clocking out for the week.
That's what I was there comes that other bad thing. Here's one of the bad things about owning your own business is that you don't have anybody to blame.
No one.
It is all you are your successes and your failures.
It's a tough talk when you're like, okay, so I want to go on vacation for like 4 days only, like maybe five, because of travel.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Oh, yeah, that's okay. But what about, did you think about all your social medias? Okay, what's going to happen then? All right, that's fine. Okay, you got that figured out. You've already got them ready for auto post. Okay, cool. Well, what about your streams? Who's going to do that? Well, who? You're the star of the show. Who's doing that? Oh, okay. You feel that you have a strong enough base that you can take that time off. Good. All right. Did you also consider about your teammates? Oh, that's right. You're someone who likes to interact with other people and work with them to make them better. Did you consider the fact that now you're not around, they're going to lose their fucking mind? Did you? So all of these things pop up into our heads because why? We have to. We are a part of that thing, right? That's our thing. And so now that we're not doing it, who's doing it? Nobody.
Nobody's doing it. There's that fear coming back in.
Yes, it is a fear to take a vacation, but you have the right to.
Exactly.
But now you're still fearful.
You've got the right to, but like everybody has that. Like even one of the biggest streamers that I know, Grand Pooh Bear, like he I think he tweeted the other week or something like that. He's like, I took an extra day off this weekend, and I was so afraid going in on Monday that nobody was going to be there.
Yeah,
and that is a real fear.
And he's, for those that don't know, he is a marquee name.
Yeah,
a marquee name still goes to the same feeling because guess what? Their level of success has a certain threshold now. And even though they might come back to half where you're like, oh, I would just love it. They worked their goddamn asses off to get to where they were. So half is now not good enough in their thought process at that moment because of what they've attached to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not their self-worth. Hopefully that's only their bank account that they're worried about at that moment.
Yeah.
But if their self-worth is also tied into that, it's a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. A half day for him, it would still be like 800, 900, 1,000 people.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not what he's worked up to.
Yeah.
2,000, 2,500, 3,000. His name on lights for this big old thing is you know what I mean? And rightfully so. Creates good content, has a very consistent way of his niche.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and rocks that.
Rocks it hard.
He took an extra day off, and the same thing happens, folks. So, are we going to say you're going to be, unflappable? You're going to be infallible? Nothing's going to mess with you now that we've told you this? Where's the laugh track? Cue it, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all we can hope to do. Like us talking about this right now, because it's therapeutic, honestly.
It is
when I bring it out. Is that oh yeah, you go through that too?
Exactly.
Yes, I do. I go through that as well. And so when I'm thinking of the fact that I go through that as well, you go through that as well. And I believe in your content big time. And you're like, oh, I believe in your content too. I'm just going to pretend like he said that, folks.
Yeah. I do believe in your content in general. So
look at that. I feel good now. I feel good.
You feel so good.
And you're still going to have these days. How can we minimize those feelings of, self-sacrifice? that we're stuck into, that we have to do because we are a small business owner. We're an entrepreneur. We can't take time off, but you're going to have to find your balance. You can't be fearful of everything.
Yeah, you can't eliminate it completely, but you can put it at a manageable level.
Excellent point. So why be a content creator? Be a content creator if your passion outweighs your want for worth. If you're dealing with worth, Flibbityflam knows this very well.
Yes.
When you're dealing with your worth, there is more to that than this.
Yes, absolutely.
So folks, if you're fearful out there, make sure it's because you're taking all the right things into consideration. Flibbityflam has. Why do you think he's doing so good? Because he's allowed himself to take a lot of considerations. And in times, I'll have to bring ideas to him because I'm limiting myself because of my fears, and vice versa. Right?
Yep. Having a good sounding board out there is very nice.
It is. And you might not always find that. So don't feel fret in that. Take into consideration. You might limit yourself because you literally are only working with yourself. Also, you might be limiting yourself because you are working with too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That can happen too. We've also dealt with that.
That is true, yes.
So do not let fear affect your content. Make great decisions based off of what you know is true to you, not true to what you want other people to believe about you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the liberating feeling of being a content creator is worth it.
Super worth it.
You know what, Flib? You're worth it.
You're worth it too.
Thank
so
you, my
worth.
dude.
Thank you.
You know what? This was fun, man. God,
Indeed.
another good one.
This is good.
Well, hey, dreamers, thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next week, family.
Bye-bye.